Okay, so why would you want to use an external monitor? Or what purpose does this external monitor serve? So, we have our shot set up. We're just looking at this little stereo remote I made a couple months ago. And we're looking at it on the 5D. But it's incredibly difficult using this tiny, I think it's like 2.5, 3-inch screen to tell if the remote is in focus. So one of the solutions that most DSLRs come with is this digital zoom that you can press on, and it will zoom in, sort of crop the image, but show you the full resolution. And then doing that, I can then manually focus to make sure the portion of the image I want is in focus. So there. And then I can zoom out, and now we have the whole image, and we know the portion of the image we want is in focus. So the problem with this is it's very difficult to, it's not difficult, but it's a pain in the butt to have to do that digital zoom every time, and then you have to move around on the image using this little thumb pad to figure out, where you want to go, and if you zoom in even more, then you gotta sort of double do it to figure out, up, 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 up. And the other thing is that this doesn't work when you're in video mode. The instant you start recording video, which I can do, I can no longer zoom in. Zoom in does nothing. So I have to rely completely and entirely on what I see on the screen to make sure it's in focus, which is impossible. So I only have 2 tripods. I'll do the best I can to hold the third camera and try to keep everything in focus. But the way this monitor works, it can be handheld on a tripod. You can figure out any mount that you want with a using a 1/4-inch 20. But you go ahead and plug the mini HDMI into the camera. Then you plug the HDMI into the monitor, and power, which this is rated for 12 volts, but it can take anything, I think up to like 18. The datasheet says 20, but 18 down to like 8 volts. The monitor turns on, and then when we turn the live view on, it'll pop up on the monitor instead. And for some reason it usually won't take up the whole screen. You have to kind of bump this info button, it's hard to zoom in, a couple times. So it behaves exactly as there it goes, the normal screen would work. It just is, I think, about 4 inches diagonally bigger. I can get my creepy carrot man tape measure. So this is about 7 inches, and this is about 3 inches. So diagonally over double the size. But like I said, the monitor will behave exactly as the LCD. You have all your information. Anything that will pop up on the LCD will pop up on the monitor itself. Then you can start recording. It's hard for me to zoom. So I'll start recording. So you see it pops off for a second, then it comes back up. And when it's doing a video record, for some reason, this is probably just a Canon hardware thing, but it downsizes to 480p. So you don't get to view the full resolution, at least on the full resolution, at least on the 5D. The 7D, I've heard, doesn't cut the quality, and it might not be hard, or it might not be easy to tell on this video recording, but it's definitely a smaller resolution image, but it's still much larger than what you'd get to view on the screen of your DSLR. So we can, let me try and focus as best as I can. So then we can change the focus on the focus ring of the 5D and watch it on the screen. And you could also hold it by hand if for whatever reason you're a director or someone who gets paid a lot of money and you want to look fancy. You can carry this thing around. And there's also room, plenty of room, maybe not on the inside. I mean, there is room on the inside, but on the back to Velcro a wireless video transmitter, so then you can completely go cableless. I can demonstrate the IR remote right now. It's definitely no cable. You can use this, at least on the Canons. They've got different ports for triggering a shutter with a cable. But you can also use an IR remote like the RC6, and in this case it's just an Arduino. And then there's two infrared LEDs on top, which you can see, and I have them blasting out about 1 amp of current each. So it's pretty sensitive. Oops, I can turn it back on. So just even with them pointing straight up and the triggers on the sensors on the very front of the camera, I can still take a picture or record video. It's set up for taking a picture right now, and I haven't hooked the second button up, but yeah, you just press the button and enough light's bouncing around the room for the Canon to pick it up. The battery is just, I'll unplug everything. It's just a rubber band to hold it on. Could use some thumb screws and like a flat piece of plastic, but this is easier. And it just pulls out this tiny 2500 milliamp LiPo. Fits back in pretty easily. There's a stop so it doesn't go too far down, and then you can just put the rubber band back on it. If I can manage with one hand, which I don't think I can. There we go. Just nice and loose. That's about it.